Imagine this. The WNBA, a league finally riding a wave of excitement, suddenly hits the brakes. Free agency, the time when players chase new opportunities, teams reshape their rosters, and fans buzz with speculation, has been officially frozen. No signings, no trades, no negotiations. Just a pause that's sending shockwaves through the league. At first glance, it looks like a simple administrative move, a piece of paperwork holding up the process. But behind the scenes, it's a chess game of leverage, strategy, and power. Players are left in limbo, teams unsure how to plan, and fans scratching their heads. Rumors swirl, debates flare, and suddenly the spotlight isn't just on the court. It's on the boardrooms and negotiations that could reshape the season. And the real question remains: who truly benefits from this freeze, and who's left paying the price? Free agency in the WNBA is usually a whirlwind of activity. Teams make bold moves, players switch squads, and fans obsess over every signing and rumor. But now, the league has officially frozen free agency, and that's raising eyebrows across the basketball world. At its core, freezing free agency means exactly what it sounds like. For the time being, players cannot sign with new teams. Trades are on hold, and qualifying offers and core designations, tools that normally give teams control over player contracts, are temporarily paused. Essentially, nothing moves until a new collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, is ratified. It sounds simple, but the implications are massive. Players entering free agency now are left in limbo, uncertain if they'll get the deals they were expecting. Teams can't plan for the season ahead or strategize for matchups, leaving coaches and front offices scrambling. Even routine processes like sending qualifying offers to restricted free agents are halted. For some players, this delay could impact their careers, endorsement opportunities, or even how much playing time they get next season. The freeze is the result of ongoing negotiations between the WNBA and the Players' Union, the WNBPA. Sources reveal that both sides are still hashing out the terms of a new CBA, but neither wanted to risk free agency moving forward without clarity. The league proposed a temporary pause. The union pushed back on some language, and after a tense back and forth, an agreement was reached to halt all activity until a deal is finalized. For fans, it's confusing. The free agency period technically began, yet nothing can happen. Social media is buzzing with speculation, rumors, and hot takes. Some believe this gives certain teams an advantage. Others think it's simply a bureaucratic headache. What's undeniable is that this moratorium isn't just a pause in signings. It's a flashpoint, a moment that highlights tensions between players and management, and a situation that could define the league's off-season drama. As the freeze continues, questions linger. Which players will be most affected? Will negotiations drag on, or will a compromise emerge quickly? And most importantly, who truly holds the power in this standoff? Fans are watching closely, and everyone knows the stakes are higher than they appear. The freeze didn't just confuse front offices, it sent shockwaves through the players themselves. For some, it's a minor inconvenience. For others, it's a major disruption to their careers and off-season plans. Social media quickly became a pressure cooker of speculation, with fans dissecting every post, story, and subtle hint from players about how frustrated they are. Veterans like Breanna Stewart, who juggle on-court responsibilities with off-court leadership roles, have openly acknowledged the mental strain. Balancing team practices, league negotiations, and personal obligations has left many feeling stretched thin. Stewart herself admitted it's hard, managing all these hats at once, trying to ensure both the league and her team navigate this uncertain period successfully. But critics argue her dual roles may present a conflict of interest. Some fans believe her position on the WNBA board could influence decisions that affect players she competes against, sparking debates about fairness and accountability. Meanwhile, younger stars are watching closely, realizing that even their personal plans are on hold. Restricted free agents, often the ones most affected, can't finalize their futures or secure financial stability. Rumors suggest that some rookies are frustrated they can't sign extensions or explore other opportunities, leaving them in a limbo that could impact development and confidence heading into the season. Even established stars like Caitlin Clark feel the ripple effects. While she continues to dominate on the court, the freeze dampens the league-wide excitement around free agency moves, a moment that typically boosts visibility and ratings. Fans express disappointment, noting that this pause undermines the momentum she's created as one of the league's most electrifying players. The freeze also highlights tension between the WNBA and the players' union. Reports claim the union is focused on shaping public perception and negotiating leverage, while the league tries to maintain order and ensure a smooth offseason. The result is a standoff where both sides have power, but neither is willing to back down immediately. For the audience, the drama is irresistible. Every tweet, every statement, and every delayed signing becomes fodder for debate. Will players' frustrations influence the negotiations? Could the freeze unintentionally create a star exodus, or will it end with compromise? One thing is clear: the pause isn't just about contracts. It's a story about control, influence, and the high-stakes politics that shape the WNBA off the court. The freeze exposed a deeper battle, a chess match between the WNBA and the players' union. On the surface, it's about free agency and contracts, but behind the headlines, it's a war over control, leverage, and influence. Both sides know that every move sets a precedent for the future. The league can pause signings, restrict offers, and maintain order, essentially holding the offseason hostage. Meanwhile, the union holds the ultimate trump card: a strike. Reports suggest players could walk out at any moment, halting the league entirely. No notice required. Sources reveal that the WNBA seems more concerned with winning public opinion than negotiating quietly behind the scenes. Tweets, statements, and subtle leaks keep fans and media engaged, building pressure on the league. The union's goal is clear: create leverage without appearing overly aggressive, all while framing themselves as champions for the players. Critics, however, argue this approach risks alienating fans and stunting growth, especially when the league's biggest draw, Caitlin Clark, is involved. The league, on the other hand, is playing patient but firm. Free agency is frozen under the moratorium, and every team has been instructed to pause qualifying offers and core designations. This isn't just bureaucracy, it's a tactical move. By controlling the timing, the WNBA forces the union to make concessions before players can secure contracts elsewhere. Yet, insiders say the freeze also causes frustration among executives who see stalled deals and idle stars as a threat to competitive balance. Tension between the sides is amplified by conflicting narratives. While the league emphasizes maintaining order, players highlight inequities in contract structures, the core designation system, and limitations on financial freedom. Rumors suggest some veterans are quietly lobbying for reforms that could reshape free agency rules for years, while rookies watch, learning that the politics off the court can affect opportunities on it. The standoff paints a dramatic picture: two powerful entities, each with tools to dominate, each unwilling to yield. Fans are left watching a strategic game of brinkmanship, where every freeze, tweet, and statement could tip the balance. And while the public debates fairness, the real battle continues behind closed doors. The question looms: who will blink first, the league that controls the rules or the players who control the talent? The freeze isn't just a negotiation tactic. It's a ripple that hits every corner of the WNBA. For players, it's a mix of uncertainty and frustration. Imagine being ready to sign a new deal, dreaming of a fresh start with a different team, or finally cashing in on your breakout season and suddenly being told, "Not yet, sit tight." For veterans like Lexi Brown or Kaylani Brown, already locked into contracts through 2026, it's a minor inconvenience. But for rising stars and unrestricted free agents, the freeze feels like hitting pause on their careers. Reports suggest some players are quietly expressing irritation, questioning why they can't move freely while negotiations drag on. Fans are feeling it too. Social media is buzzing with confusion and speculation. Some wonder if their favorite stars will stick with the same teams or finally make the jump to chase championships. Others are frustrated, seeing the freeze as unnecessary bureaucracy. Rumors swirl, some hinting that certain players might quietly leverage the situation to secure better deals once free agency reopens. Meanwhile, highlight reels and interviews continue, but the real drama is happening off the court. The freeze also disrupts team planning. Coaches and front offices are in limbo, unable to fully strategize for the upcoming season. Draft picks, trades, and roster adjustments are delayed, leaving uncertainty hanging over every locker room. Analysts point out that these stalled moves could affect competitive balance. Teams that hope to strengthen now wait, while others scramble to anticipate what's next. Yet amid the frustration, there's a silver lining. The freeze shines a spotlight on the players' struggle for fairness and respect. It sparks conversation about contract structures, core designations, and the long-term direction of the league. Fans are engaged, debates flare online, and every decision, from a single tweet to a boardroom email, now carries weight beyond just free agency. In the end, the freeze is more than a pause on transactions. It's a high-stakes chess match, with players, careers, fan expectations, and league credibility all hanging in the balance. Every moment counts, and everyone is watching to see who will make the next move. The freeze sparked an immediate backlash, and social media erupted. Fans weren't shy about sharing opinions. Some called it league chaos. Others accused the WNBA of overplaying their hand. Rumors suggest certain players privately expressed frustration, wondering if their own opportunities were being blocked by the standoff. Analysts quickly jumped in, dissecting every move, every email, and every delayed qualifying offer. The narrative wasn't just about contracts anymore. It became about respect, power, and influence. The core designation controversy added fuel to the fire. For fans familiar with the NFL's franchise tag, the parallels were obvious. Some players felt trapped by rules that limited their mobility and earning potential. Social media debates blew up, with supporters of free movement clashing with those defending the league structure. Reports claim that some players openly questioned the WNBA's strategy, arguing that dragging negotiations could hurt the league's reputation and alienate fans, who were just discovering the WNBA's rising stars. Even veteran voices weighed in. Some highlighted the league's growth pains, saying the freeze might delay the momentum of breakout players and rookie sensations. Others framed it as a necessary step, giving both sides time to secure a fair deal. The drama became as much about perception as policy, how the public, the media, and the next generation of players would remember this freeze. Off the court, front offices were scrambling. Teams couldn't finalize strategies, and the freeze forced everyone into a waiting game. Trades, roster moves, and contract talks were all stalled. Coaches had to improvise, balancing team chemistry with the uncertainty of who might even be available once free agency reopened. Analysts warned that this freeze could tilt competitive balance, creating winners and losers before a single game was played. Yet despite the chaos, there's a deeper story unfolding. The freeze highlighted tensions between players seeking autonomy and the league trying to maintain order. It sparked a conversation about fairness, leverage, and the future of women's professional basketball. Every tweet, every rumor, every analyst hot take became part of the drama. Fans are watching closely, speculating who will bend, who will hold firm, and who will ultimately benefit when free agency finally resumes. The freeze wasn't just a pause, it was a ticking clock, and everyone knew it. Both sides held powerful weapons. The owners could initiate a lockout, halting the league entirely, while the players could strike without warning. Rumors suggest whispers of a walkout circulated months before, with the WNBA casting a near-unanimous vote in December to authorize a strike if negotiations stalled. That vote wasn't empty, it was leverage. Some insiders claim players were frustrated by the pace of negotiations, feeling that public perception mattered more to the league than actual fairness. Sources hint that certain players, frustrated by stalled offers and delayed qualifying agreements, privately considered refusing to practice or report until real progress was made. Meanwhile, the owners weren't idle either. Emails show front offices bracing for scenarios they'd hoped never to see. Frozen rosters, paused trades, and players exercising their strike rights. Analysts quickly noticed the tension. A strike or lockout wouldn't just be a legal maneuver. It could shape the league's image for years. Fans who had just begun following breakout stars could see the momentum disappear overnight. Some observers believe the standoff threatened the Caitlin Clark era, the golden goose of WNBA attention, leaving the league in a precarious position. Even veteran players like Breanna Stewart felt the strain. Reports claim balancing roles as board members, active players, and union advocates stretched many to their limits. Stewart herself acknowledged the challenge, explaining that juggling on-court performance with administrative oversight was mentally exhausting. Some critics framed this as a conflict of interest, questioning whether being on the WNBA board while actively playing could compromise decision-making. In the meantime, teams faced uncertainty. Coaches couldn't finalize rotations, trades were on hold, and player morale was fragile. Front offices struggled to prepare for the season when the rules of engagement were still in flux. Every pending move, from qualifying offers to contract extensions, hung in limbo. The freeze and looming strike reveal the delicate balance of power in the WNBA. Players want autonomy, owners want control, and the league's public image hangs in the balance. The drama isn't just on the court. It's in negotiations, emails, and whispered threats. As fans watch and debate, everyone is asking the same question: who will blink first, and how will this standoff redefine women's basketball for years to come? While the freeze and potential strikes dominate headlines, the drama intensifies when you factor in the league's biggest stars. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. Rumors suggest her rise has brought unparalleled attention and revenue to the WNBA, making her the golden goose the league can't afford to lose. Yet sources claim the ongoing CBA standoff risks undermining her impact. Fans are asking, how do you build momentum for a superstar when contracts, trades, and free agency are all frozen? Other players are in the spotlight too. Breanna Stewart, a veteran voice on and off the court, faces criticism for juggling multiple roles: player, board member, and union advocate. Some insiders say this dual role has caused tension behind the scenes, with whispers of conflict of interest fueling debates among fans and analysts. Stewart has openly discussed the strain, noting that balancing team commitments with administrative duties is mentally exhausting. Observers point out that this juggling act has raised questions about fairness, transparency, and whether board decisions could be influenced by personal playing interests. Meanwhile, younger stars like Lexi Brown and Kelani Brown are caught in the freeze, unsure how or when they can negotiate new contracts. Reports suggest frustration is high, with multiple front offices admitting that they are unsure how to plan roster moves without clarity on the moratorium. The league's uncertainty has created a ripple effect. From player morale to fan engagement, everyone is navigating uncharted waters. Even beyond individual players, the freeze has exposed systemic debates. Core designations, a mechanism akin to the NFL's franchise tag, have become a lightning rod for criticism. Sources claim the union is pushing to remove the rule entirely, arguing it limits player freedom and earning potential. Meanwhile, owners argue it's essential for team continuity and competitive balance. This tug-of-war between freedom and control is amplifying tensions, highlighting a league at a crossroads. In the end, the drama isn't confined to stats or wins. It's in negotiations, strategic positioning, and personalities clashing behind the scenes. The stars themselves are part of the story, some driving change, others caught in the crossfire. Fans aren't just watching games anymore. They're watching power dynamics unfold, wondering who will dominate the boardroom as much as the court. And what happens next could reshape the WNBA for an entire generation. The freeze isn't just shaking up contracts and boardrooms. It's igniting fan outrage across social media. Supporters of players argue that the WNBPA is right to push for better terms, framing the fight as a battle for fairness and long-term growth. Yet others are frustrated, claiming the union's strategy is backfiring. Many fans point to the halted free agency as a direct threat to the excitement of the season. Rumors suggest some believe that young stars, like Caitlin Clark, are being held back from maximizing their opportunities, while veterans might be over-leveraging their influence. On Twitter and fan forums, debates have exploded. Some fans believe the league's owners are manipulating the freeze to maintain control, while others argue the union is mismanaging leverage. Confusion is rampant, with front offices admitting that offers and designations are being delayed, creating frustration for both players and supporters. The freeze has also led to memes and viral commentary, poking fun at the chaos, but underscoring a serious disconnect between the league's leadership and its audience. The stalled negotiations have consequences beyond contracts. Attendance projections and TV ratings are reportedly being watched closely, as fans question whether the WNBA can sustain momentum amid such uncertainty. Some observers suggest that if free agency remains frozen too long, it could dampen interest in marquee matchups and reduce the visibility of rising stars. Conversely, others believe the drama itself is fueling engagement, keeping conversations about player value, fairness, and league policies trending online. Ultimately, the fans' response is shaping the narrative. They're no longer passive spectators. They're active participants in the story, debating strategy, critiquing leadership, and speculating on outcomes. Every announcement, delay, or hint of a strike sparks a wave of reactions, driving discourse about what the league stands for and who truly holds the power. The WNBA's ongoing standoff is more than a negotiation. It's a live, high-stakes drama with millions watching, analyzing, and taking sides. As free agency hangs in the balance, the fans' voices might prove just as influential as the players' demands or the owners' control. And in this evolving saga, their reactions could tip the scales, leaving everyone wondering who will win the game off the court before the season even begins. As the freeze on WNBA free agency lingers, the ripple effects are already being felt. What started as a technical negotiation tactic has grown into a full-blown story about power, influence, and perception. Players, owners, and fans are all caught in a delicate balancing act, each move scrutinized, every word analyzed. Rumors suggest some players are quietly weighing options outside the spotlight, while others are using the pause to strengthen their negotiating position. The league itself faces a reputational challenge. Can it maintain credibility while these high-profile stalemates continue? The freeze also highlights deeper tensions within the WNBA. Veteran stars, rising rookies, and the union's leadership all have stakes in the outcome. Some insiders believe this standoff could reshape future collective bargaining agreements, redefining free agency rules, salary structures, and player leverage. Meanwhile, the media narrative keeps evolving. Headlines speculate on potential strikes, conflicts of interest, and even the long-term impact on player development. Every fan reaction, viral post, and analysis adds fuel to the fire, turning a procedural delay into a storyline that rivals any on-court drama. For the players, the pause is more than just a hold on contracts. It's a test of patience, strategy, and unity. Some veterans are seen as negotiating harder, while rookies navigate uncertainty, trying to maximize opportunities without burning bridges. On the other side, owners and league officials are being forced to carefully manage optics, ensuring the freeze doesn't erode fan trust or diminish the excitement of the upcoming season. Ultimately, the freeze is a reminder of how fragile momentum can be in professional sports. One misstep, One miscommunication or one poorly timed decision could have long-lasting effects on careers, reputations, and the league's public perception. Fans, who once watched solely for highlights and statistics, are now part of the conversation, shaping narratives and holding every party accountable. The question that hangs in the air is simple yet profound. Who will come out stronger when the freeze finally ends? Will the union emerge with a win that reshapes player power, or will the owners maintain control, showing the world who truly holds influence in the WNBA? One thing is certain: this off-court drama will be remembered long after the buzzer sounds, leaving fans and insiders alike guessing what the next chapter holds.